I lost my dad to Alzheimer's, so I know how difficult it is to watch someone you love slowly fade away. When my dad started to show small memory lapses and daily brain fog, we thought it was just part of aging, but it wasn't. A few months later, the most intelligent man I've ever known didn't know my name anymore. The man who taught me to never give up on my dreams couldn't take care of himself. We tried the most advanced treatments in the world. We tried Aricept, Namenda, and Exelon. He did meditation and took several supplements. Nothing worked. I promised at his grave that I would discover why, and I got involved in a deep project with some of the leading neurologists in the world. They all agreed on the same thing. Alzheimer's treatment today isn't meant to cure, it only cares about profit. In the scientific field, everyone knows the real cause of cognitive decline, and they know the solution is so low cost and accessible that they haven't found a way to profit from it. But I have no interest in that. Today I'm here to show how anyone can treat cognitive decline and Alzheimer's from home without spending more than a few cents. We tested this home protocol in more than 41,000 people, and the final data showed a 98% success rate. People in stage 7 started recognizing their grandchildren's names. Within 34 days, they were driving again. So I couldn't stay silent. I faced severe pressure from the industry and the media. They tried to create a smokescreen around the issue. And in the last few days, I received a threatening phone call, but I did not back down. That's why I invested heavily to make sure this message gets out. Because anyone watching this deserves to know the truth and to treat themselves. So if you or a loved one want sharp memory again, to be able to recognize loved ones and have independence until the last days of your lives, now is the time to pay close attention. In the next few minutes, you'll see exactly how this protocol works and how you can easily apply it starting today.
What I'm going to reveal today will change everything you believe about memory loss, dementia, and Alzheimer's. You probably know me as the founder of Microsoft and co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Over the last 25 years, we have donated more than $100 billion to health, science, and education causes. We've worked in more than 140 countries. We helped eradicate diseases like polio in entire regions of Africa and Asia. We invested in research that has saved tens of millions of lives. But today, I'm here to show you something you won't find anywhere else. Only in this video, I will prove that it's possible to reverse memory loss permanently and in record time, without taking harsh drugs like Aricept or Namenda, without going through expensive cognitive therapies for years, and 100% without side effects. In this video, I'm going to reveal a discovery our foundation kept secret for months, a natural solution that has been reversing Alzheimer's in secret pilot programs around the world. Pay attention. It's crucial that you watch until the end. Since I started making this information public, I've been under huge pressure to stay silent. Just last week, I got a call from a consortium of pharmaceutical companies offering $2 billion for me to shift my efforts to other causes. I laughed in their faces. Over the next 20 years, my commitment is to donate more than $100 billion to projects exactly like this, projects that truly save lives. There isn't enough money in the world to buy silence when it comes to something that can restore the memory of millions of people. But even with all the resources our foundation mobilizes around the world, I had to face this enemy up close, watching its shadow fall over my own family. In 2020, I lost my father to Alzheimer's, and since then, this disease has haunted me. It was a painful experience forever marked in my memory. It's hard to watch someone you love slowly disappear. And if nothing is done as more people live into their 80s and beyond, more families will face the devastating emotional and financial costs of this disease. That's why we need a real solution against Alzheimer's. People deserve to enjoy their later years of life. Doctors want you to believe it's normal to start forgetting things with age. But that's simply not true. Alzheimer's starts 30 years before it shows up, and these are some of the signs. Frequent memory lapses, that mental fog, difficulty remembering simple everyday things. This is not aging. These are warning signs that the brain is slowly starting to shut down. Aging does not cause Alzheimer's, and the proof of that was something my data and IT team found, which completely changed my perspective. They brought me a leaked report about a case that had been completely buried by the media. A child only 11 years old had developed early onset Alzheimer's and died at 13. The worst part is that the parents took more than a year to realize it was a degenerative disease. Forgetting the backpack, forgetting the teacher's name, not remembering homework. For the parents, it was just stubbornness and the typical rebellion of an 11-year-old child. Months went by with the family treating the progressive forgetfulness as challenging behavior until the situation became impossible to ignore. The child began getting lost inside their own home, no longer recognized close relatives. When they finally sought medical help, it was already too late. The autopsy revealed that the brain was overtaken by a devastating toxin coming from pesticides and heavy metals that had contaminated the water and food on the farm where the child lived. A healthy child with no genetic history, simply poisoned by the environment. But here's the question that kept me up at night. How can a 13-year-old child die of Alzheimer's in the United States, the richest country in the world, while people on remote Mediterranean islands live 90, 100 years or more, with full health, energy, and intact memory until the end of life? That's why it makes no sense to put your hopes in expensive treatments that only cause terrible side effects like nausea, vomiting, or even risk of brain hemorrhage. Our own analysis of global data shows that 99% of Alzheimer's drugs have failed in clinical trials. These so-called solutions are really chains that keep you stuck in a cycle of false hopes and frustration. They don't attack the root of the problem. So, if you or someone close to you has been dealing with frequent forgetfulness of names or faces, or simply feeling mentally drained most of the time, stop everything you're doing and watch until the end, because I have good news for you. What I'm about to show you is unlike anything you've ever tried or heard before, even from the world's most famous neurologists. I'm going to reveal the groundbreaking discovery that sadly came too late to save my dear father, but has already transformed more than 67,000 lives and families through our secret projects. I'll show you how a kind of brain diabetes is destroying your memories and why age has nothing to do with it. Why the real solution isn't in drugs and the two natural substances that centenarian populations use to keep their minds sharp up to 100 years old. And I'll reveal what I discovered through resources that only someone in my position would have access to, information that has never been publicly shared. Starting today, you'll begin to free yourself from that constant anxiety and the stress of living in fear of forgetting the most important things in your life. Because I know exactly what that feeling of helplessness is like, and that's exactly why I dedicated years of my life and billions of dollars to finding this solution. I remember a painful time. I had never felt so frustrated in my life. It was like my hands were tied. Even with a fortune like mine, I couldn't save my father from the grip of Alzheimer's. Over time, I started noticing small lapses becoming more frequent and more serious. As someone who always had access to the best resources in the world, I did what anyone would do. I mobilized everything. I paid for the best doctors, bought the best drugs, invested in the best treatments, every possible solution money could buy. I found myself completely overtaken by a feeling of helplessness. With access to the best doctors in the world, yet nothing worked. It wasn't neglect, it was incapacity. There simply was no solution. We tried meditation, cognitive stimulation, even therapies with light, sound, and frequencies. We also tested things like omega-3 nootropics and drugs like Namenda, Exelon, and Aricept. Nothing worked. That's when I found myself face to face with the billion-dollar Alzheimer's drug industry and asked myself, what are all these drugs for? Where do they spend the billions of dollars they profit every year? What research proves they really help? On the contrary, everything pointed in one direction. I would have to invest my own time, resources, and research teams into this, but it was too late. He passed away. My father had a good life overall. I'd even say a brilliant one. He was an inspiration to me in everything I achieved, but the end of his life was completely unfair. He didn't deserve to leave like that, without remembering his own family, feeling alone, even with all of us by his side because he didn't recognize us. We were strangers to him. That man who taught me about justice, about using privilege to help others, could no longer remember his own son. That deeply affected me. I stepped away from projects for a while to think more clearly. For weeks, I kept going over one question in my mind that wouldn't leave me. How is it possible that even with all the resources in the world, I couldn't save my own father? And it was exactly during that time of reflection that my digital security team found something that would change everything. A leaked government document, the report about that 13-year-old child. When I dug into the details, I discovered that the autopsy had identified the specific toxin, cadmium chloride, a heavy metal that had literally poisoned every neuron in her brain. It was the sign I had been waiting for. I owed this to my own father. And looking in the mirror, seeing that old age was coming for me too, I realized I owed this to Americans and to the thousands of people who don't know where to find the strength to keep holding on to hope.
I have been working in research for aging and dementia my entire life, and it still did not prepare me for when my grandmother was diagnosed with dementia. She was strong, but she was kind. She didn't keep anything for herself. She spoke 4 languages, and she did not deserve the ending that the disease gave her.
I put my best team of neuroscientists to work on this immediately, and what we discovered was even more shocking. The toxin was only the beginning. Medicine had always been looking in the wrong place. The study they used as a reference, the one about the famous plaques in the brain, had been forged. Data fabricated from the start. Billions of dollars wasted chasing a false theory.
Originally, and even in many people still, people thought that Alzheimer's disease is the result of these plaques accumulating in the brain. These kind of little proteinaceous, little thick things that are preventing neurons from sending the signals throughout the brain for the brain to think and have normal cognition. And yet, there are those of us, and I'm proud to say I have long been one of them, who has said that the plaque-based theory doesn't make sense. We have had drugs that have been available for human use for years that have effectively reduced plaques in the brain, and yet did nothing to improve cognition. So that is an immediate challenge of the plaque-based theory of Alzheimer's. Even further, even beyond older than that evidence, when you would look post-mortem or look at tissue donor people who'd passed away, you would look at the brains of people who died with confirmed Alzheimer's disease at the time of death, and look at the brain of someone who died without any evidence of any cognitive decline or any compromised thinking whatsoever. And you would be just as likely to find plaques in both brains. So whether the brain had Alzheimer's disease or not, you would still see plaques in the brain. So the whole idea that plaques mattered has long been controversial. About 2 or 3 years ago, they found out that the very first published papers that implicated plaque as a cause of Alzheimer's disease were based on fabricated data. So the scientists who published those first reports that led to the entire theory that Alzheimer's disease is plaque-based were called out as fraudulent, and indeed, all of it was fabricated.
The real problem, and the reason Alzheimer's deaths keep rising, is something some recent research had been pointing to: a kind of brain diabetes, or type 3 diabetes, as they began to call it. But for some reason, it didn't move forward. There were no more studies being done around this discovery, almost as if they wanted to bury the subject. That showed us we were on the right track, but where could the solution be? If seniors had Alzheimer's, it would make sense to look at the young. But after the case of the child who died of Alzheimer's, that created a paradox that tormented me. Then my mind received what felt like divine inspiration. Look at the oldest, my mind said. But how? It seemed like a paradox. After thinking more about it, it made perfect sense. People weren't looking at this. Where are the healthy elderly? That's when I directed the research toward the elderly. In the Mediterranean specifically, the centenarian populations who keep perfect memory, even at 100 years old. I decided to invest heavily and set up a research base on the island of Sardinia.
Alzheimer's disease affects over 50 million people worldwide. Typically, Alzheimer's affects people in late 60s or in 70s. If you postpone cognitive decline by 10 to 15 years, it is pretty much close to cure.
For months, we tracked the eating habits, customs, and lifestyle of hundreds of elderly people on the island of Sardinia with flawless memory. And then we identified a strange pattern, something no one had noticed before. Our entire research team started noticing and commenting among themselves that they were feeling more energetic, remembering old studies, things they had read in college decades earlier, memories they thought were gone for good, were coming back with impressive clarity. At first, we thought it was just coincidence. Maybe the pure air of the region, the relaxing environment. But when this started happening to everyone on the team, without exception, we decided to investigate. After an internal meeting, we decided to take everything consumed there for lab analysis. You won't believe what we discovered. What everyone had in common was water. The water in the Sardinia region had something different. When the results came back, I was shocked. That water was naturally rich in lithium. I'm not talking about industrial lithium used in high doses for psychiatric disorders. This was something completely different. Natural lithium in microscopic amounts, just the way nature created it. And when we discovered how this lithium acted in the body, everything made sense. Lithium works as a natural chelator. Its molecules literally hug and chemically bind to toxic heavy metals, neutralizing substances like cadmium chloride, the very same silent toxin that had killed that 13-year-old child. It was as if we had found the natural antidote to the poison that was destroying the memory of millions of people. But this was only half of the equation. We had solved the toxin problem, but the issue of brain diabetes was still missing. How could we reverse insulin resistance in the brain? Let me explain what we discovered about this phenomenon. The brain is a hungry organ. It makes up only 2% of the body, but consumes up to 20% of all energy. And this energy comes basically from a single source, glucose. But glucose can't get into brain cells on its own. It needs a key to open the door. That key is called insulin. Now, imagine what happens when that key doesn't work properly. The doors get stuck. Sugar builds up outside, and inside the brain, energy starts running out. It's like having plenty of electricity running through your house's power grid, but the switches are broken. The energy never reaches the light bulbs, and the rooms are left in the dark.
The brain has a certain energy demand that it needs. And if there's a lot of glucose in a healthy insulin-sensitive person, glucose will fill all of that need. But as the brain becomes progressively insulin resistant, it cannot get all of its energy from glucose. And the brain says, well, I don't have enough energy to keep functioning as well as I did before, so I have to reduce my function, which manifests as a reduction in the ability to think and process. In other words, cognition goes down. I just got finished describing a scenario that scientists refer to as brain glucose hypometabolism, or a reduction in the amount of glucose the brain is using. And as much as you and I are describing that scenario as relevant for Alzheimer's disease, you can essentially open up the book of neurological disorders and see the same thing. Depression has a brain glucose hypometabolism to it. Migraines have a brain glucose hypometabolism. Epilepsy and Parkinson's disease. So all of these disorders of the brain, of the central nervous system, the one thing they all have in common is the brain isn't getting enough energy from glucose. And another way of saying that is the one thing all of those seemingly unrelated brain problems have in common is that they all have some degree of insulin resistance.
Scientists have already given a name to this phenomenon, type 3 diabetes, a kind of brain diabetes. The worst part is that this brain blackout begins silently, first with small forgetfulness, then difficulty organizing thoughts, recognizing faces, until the person's identity is slowly erased. So I asked myself, if lithium solves the toxins, what could restore insulin sensitivity in the brain? We decided to go back to the field once again. Going door to door, talking with the elders of the region, we asked about food, habits, family traditions, and something kept coming up. Among the many foods already known to be good for the brain, the main one everyone mentioned was honey. They ate wild honey from the region daily ever since childhood. They made fresh juices, morning shakes, traditional desserts, homemade jams, or ate them straight from the bush. It had been part of the local culture for generations. Once again, we collected samples and took them for lab analysis. We used the honey from the region itself, grown in that specific soil, and the results left us ecstatic. The Sardinian blueberries contained an extraordinary concentration of anthocyanins, powerful flavonoids that act directly on insulin sensitivity. We discovered that these anthocyanins act like master keys, unlocking the cell doors that had been jammed by insulin resistance. They literally reactivate the insulin receptors in the brain, allowing glucose to flow normally back into the neurons. On top of that, these compounds reduce brain inflammation, and most impressively, they drastically speed up the recovery of lost memories, reactivating neural pathways that seem to have been erased forever. It was the missing piece of the puzzle. But just as we were celebrating, one question tormented me. While debating the results with the team, we asked ourselves, why doesn't this work the same way in the United States? And the answer was already there, right in front of us. The toxins in the food and water, the pesticides, the silent cadmium chloride. Then everything connected like a lightning bolt. Americans could eat pounds of honey and still not get the same effects because cadmium keeps inflaming the brain, creating a vicious cycle. The more toxins build up, the worse insulin resistance gets. And the worse the insulin resistance, the more vulnerable the brain becomes to toxin buildup. It was like trying to fill a leaky bucket. That's why we needed a dual approach. Eliminate the toxins and restore insulin sensitivity at the same time. The solution was clear. We needed to isolate the anthocyanins in their purest, most concentrated form, combined with lithium orotate extracted directly from that special Sardinian water. With this information in hand and doing everything possible to keep the discovery secret to avoid interference and unnecessary bureaucracy, we returned to the United States. Now the mission was to formulate this combination, validate it with strict scientific standards, and find a way to distribute it to thousands of people. We then began conducting a double-blind randomized clinical trial, the gold standard of medical research, bringing together volunteers of different ages. What happened in the following months went far beyond all our expectations. With the collaboration of researchers from the world's top universities, we organized a study with 2,100 volunteers, men and women between 35 and 85 years old. They ranged from people with mild cognitive impairment to patients in the most advanced stages of Alzheimer's. They came from all walks of life with different genetic backgrounds, but they all shared one thing in common: the desire to get their minds back.
I was 55 when I got diagnosed. I'm 58 now. I know I've got funny things. I can get lost. Like I can go for a walk and get lost in a familiar place. So embarrassingly ridiculous. You know that feeling when you go into a room and you've lost your keys or you've lost your phone? Imagine that 20, 30 times a day. It's so draining. In the dark of night is horrible because you have that feeling of your mind plays tricks on you and it's not nice. So I keep losing my train of thought.
After just 12 weeks of treatment using the combination of these two natural ingredients, the results were simply extraordinary. We detected that cadmium chloride, the same toxic metal that had stolen so many memories, was being eliminated from the participants' bodies. Even more impressive, brain insulin resistance, which is the real cause of the energy blackout, was reversed in 94% of participants. And with that came significant improvements in cognitive function. Brain fog, anxiety, and irritability practically disappeared. An incredible 89% of participants had the progression of the disease completely stopped. In other words, Alzheimer's was halted in its tracks and even began to be reversed, and 91% regained cognitive abilities they had lost, returning to handle their daily routines independently.
I definitely forget that he has dementia. There are times where I have to remind myself because he is doing so well and he is busy.
My mother had become aggressive. She no longer recognized my children. We were seriously considering putting her in a specialized clinic, but thanks to Mr. Gates, my kids can now spend time with their grandmother, something the doctors told us would never happen.
And here's the best part. None of the volunteers had to take additional medications or go through unpleasant treatments. None. It was all 100% natural and free of side effects. But what I didn't expect was the betrayal that came next. So here's what we'll do. We'll offer you $15 million to promote the research nationally, but leave out everything you discovered and reinforce the same bullshit everyone already believes. People cannot know about a natural solution that reverses memory loss. Make it look like it was nothing special, otherwise it would cause billion-dollar losses. That day I felt like I had been stabbed in the back. One of the project's participants went to the media to spread lies about our discoveries.
A new study, which included 2,100 older Americans at risk of dementia, found significant improvement in cognition. For a closer look, I'm joined by Jessica Langbaum, Senior Director of Research Strategy at Banner Alzheimer's Institute. So why is this new study getting so much attention right now?
He put together all those individual factors, all those little things we've been repeating for years. There's nothing really innovative here. It's just a way to show the public that together, these factors may slow down some symptoms. But make no mistake, This is far from being a real solution for Alzheimer's and
And we should note the participants in this study had, as you've described, sedentary lifestyles in the report before the trial began. So why is that so significant?
It's only meaningful because it reinforces what we already know. Lifestyle habits make a difference, but we can't fool ourselves. No natural intervention will solve or cure dementia. At best, we can only buy some time. And this shows that we can only change the trajectory of aging, but even then, it's dangerous because it takes the focus away from the serious and proven solutions we already have on the market today.
After that, I was forced to remove her from the study due to conflict of interest. She was chasing fame and money, and that's not what we're here for. To give you an idea, the Alzheimer's industry makes more than $400 billion a year globally. An American diagnosed with Alzheimer's creates an average cost of $500,000 for their family in drugs and care, numbers that only increase as the disease advances. All of that without any real hope of a cure. Now imagine having access to a natural solution, effective and free of side effects, for less than the cost of a doctor's visit. That's exactly why they want to hide this information. But I don't need their money. I don't depend on media support. And that's exactly why you're watching this video today. That's why I'm here to make this announcement. To tell you that finally we have a concrete answer against Alzheimer's and other forms of memory loss, not just to slow it down, as they say, but to truly reverse it. And this is not a distant theory. I saw the data. I personally saw people getting their memories back and regaining their independence. I believe this is the path so that millions of families never again have to watch their loved ones fade away while still alive. Would you like to experience all this and start today? So now I'm going to tell you how. Please listen carefully, because the next part is the most important of this entire video. Well, after seeing that all the results were clear, I was finally close to a solution. The combination of lithium carbonate and the anthocyanins from honey was the most promising solution we had ever seen to restore brain energy and protect memory. But after proving that lithium orotate and anthocyanins could reverse Alzheimer's, I still had one big problem, the biggest challenge of our research. Turning this discovery into something real that thousands, millions of people could use every day. We had the cure, but only for a few hundred people in the world. The first obstacle was lithium. The form found naturally in Sardinian water is extremely rare, and when isolated the wrong way, it quickly loses its stability. Most lithium salts sold out there don't have the same bioavailability. They can't cross the blood-brain barrier and reach where the brain really needs it. The second challenge was honey. It's easy to find cheap supplements on the market, but most lose their antioxidant properties in the extraction process. Our tests showed that when exposed to the wrong heat or to oxygen during drying, the anthocyanins simply disappear. In other words, you think you're taking honey, but in reality, you're swallowing powder with no effect. It was months of frustration. And here's the curious detail. Even though I'm one of the most well-known men on the planet, with billions of dollars available to invest, many laboratories refused our proposal. Some claimed the costs to maintain the purity of the ingredients were too high. Others simply didn't want to get involved because they already had billion-dollar contracts with the pharmaceutical industry, the same industry that makes hundreds of billions of dollars every year selling drugs that only mask Alzheimer's symptoms. It was as if the whole system was designed to prevent this formula from coming to light, but I wasn't willing to give up. That's when I met a businessman from the biotech sector. As soon as I shared my personal motivation, marked by the memory of my own father, he was moved. I watched my mother waste away while taking Aricept for years. He said bitterly, they stole precious years from us by selling false hope. When he saw our results, 96% effectiveness, he slammed his fist on the table. This is it. We're going to show the world there's a real alternative. This will change everything. He decided to open the doors of his production network and join our mission. And the most impressive part, we managed to do it at a much lower cost than all the other proposals I had made before. It was almost as if destiny had conspired in our favor after so many closed doors. Thanks to this partnership, today we can produce small batches of this formula in a state-of-the-art facility, GMP certified and FDA registered, right here in the United States. Each serving contains lithium orotate in the purest, most bioavailable form, able to cross the blood-brain barrier. Standardized honey extract concentrated in stable anthocyanins, preserved against heat and oxidation, all developed with quality standards impossible to find in common supplements.
It is an incredible honor to be here working with a fellow Aggie on something that could have cured my grandmother. We have never thought that we would have a cure in our lifetime. It's a great time to be in research. It's a great time to be in this field.
And that's why today I can say, if you suffer from memory loss, frequent lapses, or fear forgetting the people you love, that can end now. We've managed to create a clean and effective formula ready to bring back your memories and protect your brain. Today is the day you say goodbye to cognitive decline and start a new chapter with your mind clear, focused, and sharp again. It is with great honor that I present the key to your complete cognitive recovery. Its name is MemoGenesis. It's not just a supplement, even though it's classified as one. It's a complete treatment. No prescription needed, no side effects, and no contraindications. The only 100% natural and scientifically proven solution that combines ultra-concentrated honey and pure lithium orotate in the exact proportions needed to restore insulin sensitivity in the brain, neutralize accumulated toxins, and bring back mental clarity, focus, and independence, all with zero side effects. Using MemoGenesis is simple. Just take one capsule in the morning with a glass of water and let the formula work inside your body. Now, why capsules? We discovered that in gummies, powders, or drops, up to 60% of the active compounds were destroyed by stomach acid. By using capsules, we apply the protection of a patented technology called NeuroLock. NeuroLock is a high-tech pectin film that creates a protective shield around the active ingredients. By placing pure honey extract and lithium orotate inside these protected capsules, we ensure the active compounds reach your intestine intact, enter the bloodstream, and cross the blood-brain barrier to reach your brain. This guarantees that 100% of the dose is delivered directly to the most important battle of your life, the battle for your mind. And that's what makes MemoGenesis so powerful. It works for anyone because it targets the main cause of Alzheimer's and memory loss, insulin resistance in the brain combined with toxin buildup. It doesn't matter if you're 40 or 80 years old, if you're just starting to forget small things, or if you're already noticing more advanced signs. Each daily dose provides the exact amount of these nutrients that studies have shown can reverse dementia symptoms and protect the brain against the energy blackout caused by brain diabetes. Every bottle is produced right here in the United States in our GMP certified and FDA registered facility. It's 100% natural, non-GMO, with no stimulants and no toxins. It's pure restoration.
The worst part wasn't forgetting my keys or missing appointments. It was looking at my daughter's face and not being able to remember her name. I felt like a burden, a stranger inside my own home. I thought my life was over. But after I started using MemoGenesis, everything changed. Today, at 79 years old, I can remember every detail of the stories I used to tell my grandchildren. I'm back to playing cards with my friends and even winning again. MemoGenesis gave me back not only my memory, but also my dignity.
When the bottles of MemoGenesis arrived, I had no hope. It was just one last desperate attempt. But today, I am forever grateful to Bill Gates, because I have my husband back. The conversations, the silly jokes, the light in his eyes when he looks at me. MemoGenesis didn't just save his mind, it saved us. It saved our family from collapse and from the end.
These are just two of the more than 22,000 men and women who are already living this new reality with MemoGenesis. Now it's your turn to finally break this cycle. Because now, with everything validated, we've secured a large supply of raw material, especially the wild Sardinia honey, which is harvested only once a year in a 45-day window. And we're making this small batch available, which will no doubt change the lives of hundreds of people watching right now. The next batch won't be available for another 6 to 8 months. But fate or luck brought you here at this exact moment, and you'll be rewarded for it because without a doubt, you'll have bottles arriving at your door within 3 to 5 business days. But first, understand this. The results are fast, yes, but restoration is a continuous treatment, not just a temporary fix. Our data is clear. The minimum protocol for a deep cadmium cleanse, reversal of brain diabetes, and neural strengthening is 90 days, 3 bottles. But the full shield, the one that restores and protects against the future, the same used by our most successful patients, is the 180-day protocol, 6 bottles. Stopping halfway is like putting out only half of a fire. You need to go all the way. You can keep spending a fortune on useless placebos or drugs that only mask the symptoms. Or you can do what more than 22,000 people have already done: attack the root cause and solve the problem. When we calculated the price of MemoGenesis, the value set was $299 per bottle, which already seemed more than fair, because think about the real cost of not taking action. Big pharma drugs, up to $26,500 per year for medications that, according to specialized media, offer modest benefits and terrifying risks of brain hemorrhage. Care institutions easily over $100,000 per year, a financial black hole designed to drain every penny of the savings you spent a lifetime building. Lost income, the cost of a child or spouse forced to leave their job to become a full-time caregiver, sacrificing their own future to manage your decline. Invisible costs, thousands of dollars in home adjustments and weekend caregivers, a constant financial bleed that no one writes down until it's too late. The emotional cost, seeing the love in your family's eyes slowly replaced by exhaustion, pity, and sadness. Something that can't be measured in money, but is felt every single day. Compared to that, a one-time investment in your independence and dignity is the smartest decision you can make. But with my connections around the world, I was able to cut out the middlemen and offer this solution to you at a much lower final cost. Today, with all these optimizations, we managed to set the final price of this batch of MemoGenesis at just $98 per bottle. But today you can receive up to 3 bottles at no cost at all. See, this will be a personal gift from me to you. If you've made it this far in this video, it's because you're truly looking for a solution. And I can say with total conviction, there is no better solution than MemoGenesis. Today, the kit with 6 bottles, which equals the complete 180-day treatment, would cost $588. But I insisted on going further. I decided to pay half for you. This condition, however, is limited to the first 46 6-bottle kits, which is why I asked for it to be limited to 1 kit per purchase. That's right, 3 of your 6 bottles will be paid for by me. Now pay close attention. The 6-bottle kit will appear below. If the price shown is $294, it means you're still among the first and there's still time. But if it shows $588, it means the promotional kits are already gone. Choose your complete kit below right now and restore your cognition and memory once and for all. This price will never be offered again. It's a one-time opportunity and guarantees you the complete uninterrupted treatment for half the price. Don't waste time now. You may also just want to slightly improve your memory without doing the full treatment. In that case, you can start with the 3-bottle MemoGenesis kit, which covers the minimum recommended 90-day treatment. You pay for only 2 bottles and get the 3rd completely free. It's not as complete a protection as the 6-bottle kit, but it's still a powerful option for people in the early stages of brain fog or with mild forgetfulness. And no matter which kit you choose, you're covered by a full 60-day money-back guarantee. This means you can complete the full 2-month treatment. And if you don't feel your mind clearer and your memory sharper, just send an email to the address printed on the MemoGenesis bottle, and we will immediately refund 100% of your money. No questions asked, no hassle. Remember, these special conditions are being offered only today, while our limited stock for this batch lasts. Our purpose is to end the suffering caused by memory loss in America, and that's why we removed all product profit margins and cut out middlemen, just to bring you the best price here and now. As soon as the bottles run out, the purchase buttons on this page will be deactivated until we can produce a new batch, which, because of the rarity of the honey, the pure lithium orotate, and the complexity of our neuroencapsulation technology, takes at least 6 months. And to be fully transparent, given the number of people on the waiting list, it's very likely that the next batches will be prioritized for those already in treatment. That's why, to encourage you to make the best decision for your mind today, we prepared something even more special. The first 20 people who secure their MemoGenesis kit today will receive something truly unique, an exclusive consultation with my own team of doctors specializing in neurology and longevity, the same professionals who helped me develop and validate this formula. But that's not all. Along with this consultation, the first 20 will also receive an invitation to a one-of-a-kind experience in Sardinia Italy, the island famous for hosting some of the longest living and healthiest people in the world. There, you and a guest will have the chance to experience firsthand the secrets of this ancient diet, walk through the centuries-old villages, and take part in meals prepared exactly as the locals have done for generations. It was in this region that we discovered part of the secret behind the mechanism of memogenesis, and now you'll have the chance to experience it personally. And why am I doing this? Because I don't just want you to preserve your memories, I want you to create new unforgettable ones. I want you to celebrate your victory over Alzheimer's. But as I said, this is only for the first 20 who secure the 6-bottle package. And yes, your order today is a one-time payment with no recurring charges, no automatic subscriptions, and no hidden fees. I hate those just as much as you do. In addition, as an extra incentive for you to take back control of your mind, whether you choose 3 or 6 bottles, we will not charge the $20 shipping fee. That means today only you get free shipping, so select your MemoGenesis kit below right now. Consider this the smallest yet most powerful investment you can make in yourself and in your future independence. The original MemoGenesis is available only and exclusively on this page. It is not for sale anywhere else on the internet, not on Amazon, not in pharmacies, not in health stores. I made sure to cut out all middlemen so you can have direct access to the original formula at the best possible price without abusive markups. This is your only chance to get this exclusive formula designed to flush out poisonous cadmium, reverse brain diabetes, and rebuild your neural pathways, attacking the root cause of memory loss. Here's exactly what you need to do to complete your order. Right below this video, you will see the MemoGenesis kit options. Once you click, you will be redirected to our 100% secure checkout page. Now, to complete your order, just follow these simple steps. Scroll down the page. The first step is to fill in your full name, phone number, and email. The second step is to fill in the fields with the address where you want to receive your MemoGenesis kit. And finally, the last step is to enter your payment information and click Buy Now, and that's it. Our team here in the United States will immediately prepare your shipment, and you will receive it at your door in 3 to 5 business days within the US. Now we come to the truth, the only question that really matters. Do you want to solve this problem once and for all or not? If your answer is a visceral yes, then the rest are just details I've already taken care of for you. That's why your decision today is protected by our unbreakable 60-day guarantee. Sound fair? Look, I know the science behind this formula. I've seen the results, I've seen the lives we've saved, and that's why I decided to back this guarantee out of my own pocket. But I know what lies ahead for you. In just a few weeks, you will feel the clarity, the speed of thought, the freedom of no longer being a prisoner inside your own mind. And when that happens, you'll understand. That feeling is priceless. That's why I say to you with total confidence, go ahead. The risk is mine. The victory is your right. Let me be clear. This isn't about money. It's about saving lives, about saving families. I know what it's like to hold your father's trembling hand and ask, why isn't anything working? Don't just believe me. Believe Robert, a 68-year-old grandfather from Florida.
When the bottles arrived, my grandson looked at me with pity and said, "Grandpa, another magic pill." That crushed me. On impulse, I requested a refund the same day. Less than an hour later, I received an email. Your refund has been processed. Please keep the product as our gift. I was shocked by their confidence. I decided to give it a real chance. Today, I'm in my 3rd week, and the clarity is unbelievable. I even remembered the plot of a book I had read months ago. I'm recording this just to say I want to return the refund and buy more because MemoGenesis is amazing.
Robert's story could be yours, but time is your enemy. Every second of hesitation is another second your brain loses memories. You've been kept in the dark by a system that profits from your condition, but never from your cure. They told you cognitive decline is normal. It's a convenient lie for them, and a prison sentence for you. Some people get used to the cell. With all due respect, if that's your case, this is not your moment. But if you're ready to break down the door and take back your mind, the choice is already made. Thousands of people are already on the other side, on the path to freedom. Now, I want to make something clear. I don't intend to profit from this. In fact, most of my fortune is already destined for philanthropic causes, more than $100 billion over the next 20 years. The price you see here is only to cover production costs, maintain the purity of the ingredients, and support the teams of doctors, researchers, and biomedical experts who make all this possible. I want MemoGenesis to reach only the hands of those who truly need it, not of the curious who would take the opportunity away from families desperate for a solution. That's why we kept the price as low as possible, to make it accessible but at the same time serious. But pay attention. This offer is available only now, on this page, and only while supplies last. Don't risk coming back later and finding out the bottles are gone. So, if you close this page now, your reserved bottles will immediately be released to the next person in line. Everything you need to do to restore your memory, regain your independence, and start living the way you've always dreamed is to choose the ideal kit right below this video. But hurry to be among the first and also secure the exclusive bonuses of this offer. Click the button now and choose your kit. And to show how much I believe in MemoGenesis, everyone who confirms today is automatically entered into an exclusive giveaway, a longevity retreat in the Greek islands, Ikaria, airfare and lodging fully paid for you and a guest, with guided experiences on Mediterranean eating, light hikes, and wellness routines practiced by one of the longest living populations in the world. A gift to preserve your memories and create new ones. But pay attention, this offer can end at any moment, even while I'm speaking. When stock runs out, the purchase buttons below will be deactivated. So if the purchase button is still showing for you, take advantage. Select your kit right now. Click the button below to secure your discount, confirm your order, and join the group of people who decided to regain their memory, their independence, and their life. Remember that your investment is 100% safe with your 60-day guarantee. Either you regain your memory, focus, and independence, or you pay nothing. It's that simple. And why am I doing this? Because unlike the pharmaceutical industry, I don't need to hide anything. I know what we created. I know it works. Your risk is zero. And your gain could mean a new life, full of preserved memories and unforgettable moments with the people you love most. So click the button below before it's too late. Don't wait, please. Secure your kit right now before it runs out. Click the button below this video. Don't let MemoGenesis sell out before you secure yours.
As soon as I started taking MemoGenesis, I felt like my brain had been freed from that suffocating mental fog. I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and I thought my life would only get worse. But after I started the treatment, even my doctor was shocked by the progress. I reversed my diagnosis, and today my memory is sharper than it was when I was 30.
Now, I want you to imagine yourself a month from now, with a mind as sharp as it was at 20 years old. Imagine living unforgettable moments with the people you love most, and having the certainty that those memories will never slip away again. What is it worth to truly be yourself again, with your story, your identity, your clarity intact, to live without that constant fear of forgetting your own life? I'd say that's priceless. I'm almost 70 years old, and if it were possible, I'd spend my entire fortune just to have the mind I had at 20 again. But what we achieved with MemoGenesis has a power very close to that, and today it's within your reach. But you need to act fast. With every passing minute, the cells in your brain may be under attack from this silent toxin. Every day lost is a day you can't get back. While you're thinking, other people are securing their kits. Our stock is limited, and it can run out at any moment. Remember, Alzheimer's doesn't wait. Cognitive decline doesn't take a break. The only person who can act is you. So go ahead and secure your kit right now. If you let this page slip away, you already know the script that awaits you. It's the panic of forgetting your grandchild's face. It's the shame of getting lost on your own street. It's the look of exhaustion and sadness on your spouse's face. It's the rocking chair in silence while life happens all around you. It's your independence being stolen day after day until the final and devastating decision, the nursing home, social death arriving long before physical death. Or there is this path, the path that begins with a yes right this very second. Imagine waking up and feeling clarity, a light, sharp, present mind. Picture yourself at the next family dinner, not just present, but leading the conversation, telling a story from your youth with details that shock everyone. See the pride replace the pity in your children's eyes. Imagine your doctor's surprise when your cognitive tests improve after he said it was impossible. Life back in your hands, freedom, dignity, these two futures are real. They already exist. And what decides which one will be yours is the click you make or don't make at this very moment. Your MemoGenesis kit is here, reserved, waiting for you. What you're deciding is not a purchase, it's a rescue. a rescue of your identity, your dignity, your place in the world. Choose the 6-bottle kit below right now. It's a one-time, safe, risk-free payment. Your freedom is one click away. Not tomorrow, not later, it's now. Click the button below and take the most important step of your life. I'll be here waiting to celebrate your victory with you, and congratulations on your decision for a new life.